Get you some sultrylim.com. If you wanna get it tonight, get you some sultrylim.com. Make your body feel right. Get you some sultrylim.com.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue and I am back for another Braxton Family Values review, you guys. I believe this was the season finale, I'm not sure. Either way, it was a good episode. Iyanla gave me all the life that I needed. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with how the episode started off, which was how the last one left off with Iyanla saying, "Not on my watch," okay? At some point, you just gotta say it, "Not on my watch." And what she meant by that is she was not going to continue to be disrespected by Tony and Tamar, who want to come late and leave early and leave everything on the laps of Trina, Tracy, and Tawanda. Okay, we're not dealing with that right now. And that is the environment that we've all been in, okay? If you've been watching Braxton Family Values this whole time, that you know that's pretty much how shit go, all right? Tony and Tamar get to do whatever the hell they want to do, and everybody else has a different set of rules that they have to live by, all right? So Tamar comes in wearing camo like she about to fight somebody. Hold on, Jesus. She snatches Trina's lashes off, talking about, "Oh, they messed up. Let me fix them. Let me put a little eyeliner on right quick." Snatch the girl eyelashes off one after another. Click, click. Okay, then Iyanla comes in. "Good morning. Good morning." Looking refreshed and ready to deal with the craziness of the Braxton family. Okay. And she sees that Tamar is over there fooling with Trina's eyelashes. And she looks at Tony, and Tony looks at her, and she's like, "They came off." That's what the excuse was. Her eyelashes came off. When in all honesty, if Tamar had entered the room, "Good morning, everyone," and one or two people were doing what she and Trina doing right now, she would have felt some type of way about it. Now, Iyanla knows that she was very frustrated with them yesterday, but she wants them to know that we can have a disagreement and I'm still going to abide by what I said I was going to do, and I show up the next day ready to deal with y'all, okay? So she wants to understand how everybody is feeling about what took place yesterday, so she asked Tony, "Tony, what happened yesterday?" Tony says, "I don't know what happened. I asked some people." And Iyanla says, "Okay, so what did you learn?" She was like, "I mean, I didn't, think I really needed to learn anything from it. Just that basically, you may have been upset about whatever time we were supposed to come together, or people eating, whatever the situation was." And Iyanla makes Tony realize that you were not here on time, therefore you broke your commitment. We said that we would be here at 11, and the call sheet came out and said be here at 1:30. Were you here at 1:30? Tony was not there at 1:30. She was there at 1:45. All right? So you weren't there on time. You broke your commitment. Accept it. Realize it. And Tony does. Tony says she didn't feel like, she got a beating on the behind. She felt like she got a little pop on the head, and she appreciates Iyanla being soft with her. But she came in nervous about how Tamar was going to react to the fact that Iyanla is very outspoken and says how she feels. Nobody wants Iyanla to not do her job, but they're still nervous about how Tamar is going to react. And y'all, I have a personal understanding of this. Like, I'm not going to get all into my family drama because some of my family members be watching, people who know my family be watching. But if you in my family, or you close to my family, then you know who I'm talking about. Okay? Because I've said this many times, all right, that I feel like, there are certain family members that get away with so much shit. They get away with having a bad attitude. They get away with being able to say whatever they want to everybody, and it's all okay. It's all fine. When Iyanla turns to Tamar, she instantly goes into how Iyanla is a hypocrite because she left out after she sat up there and made sure that Evelyn agreed to stay, and then she leaves. And Iyanla says, "Tamar, there is a difference, okay? There is a difference. When you guys broke your agreement with me, I had every right to say, you know what, not today. But I told you I would be back today, and here I am, I'm back today." Understand the difference in between the two? Tamar feels as if that she was disrespected because Iyanla made comments about her without even getting to know her, and all of this and all of that and all of this. And it's just like, Bitch, if you don't go sit in a car and smoke a blunt and come back calmer than what you giving us right now, you know, I know some people like to stay away from drugs, but some drugs are good for people like that, okay? Like, I'm just saying, Tamar seemed like one of them people that if she wasn't on some type of pill, smoking weed would help her out. Calm the fuck down. Tamar, for some reason, does not seem to understand that she broke her agreements when she showed up at 3:45 when the call sheet said 1:30. Okay? She doesn't seem to understand that. And there seems to be a lot of people in the world that don't understand that being late is disrespecting other people's time. And that at least if you're going to be a late motherfucker, apologize and be sincerely apologetic for being disrespectful of other people's time. People have places to go, and if they can be here on time, then bitch, so can you. So can you. Ain't like you gotta do no fucking hair, Tamar. Explain to me why you was that late. You ain't had to do nothing extra. Okay? Bitches is beating your face. Your face should have been beat already, okay? Okay, you ain't got no fucking hair. So you came in with your camo gear. That looked like something that somebody would have got from off the rack. Some fucking well matching camo sweatsuit, fit, look comfortable and shit. I was about to buy one just like that when we was in Houston, and Lyric made me leave out the store, so I didn't. But yeah. Okay? I'm so not here for her not understanding why she's being seen as disrespectful and also being seen as somebody that broke her commitment. I don't know if y'all paid attention to it, but Iyanla definitely curbed the way she talked to Tamar so that Tamar wouldn't have any room to misconstrue the energy that Iyanla was giving off. But she still found a way to misconstrue it. Still found a way to be disrespectful and get loud and get upset, all because she's being told about herself. She doesn't like being told that she has issues. Well, bitch, you know you have issues. So why are you upset when people say you have issues and you classify it as people calling you names, okay? They're called adjectives. They're not names. If they describe the way you act, then bitch, wear the shoe because it fit. Iyanla wants them to understand that there has to be consequences for people's actions. And this is something that I could really understand. When you have family members who feel like they can say whatever they want, do whatever they want, and they never have to fucking apologize for anything. You're just supposed to keep going on like as if nothing ever happened. There are no consequences for their actions. And the family, all of them, have dealt with Tamar and let Tamar do what she does and say the things she says without any real consequences to her actions. They still will show up and be loving sisters and act as if nothing ever happened until the next fucking argument breaks out. And it's just exhausting to watch. And it's been like that for years. And it's just, I love the fact that Iyanla is able to call these things out and make them notice that this is what's going on. Because I feel like when you're in the middle of it, you're so frustrated about so many different things, you're not exactly sure how to vocalize all of those things. And I think that's the problem with the family. They so fucking tired, they don't even know how to vocalize to Tamar anymore, that they can't take her shit. They just be happy that she just wants to stay her ass in her house all the time so they don't have to deal with her. Now, they love her, so they worried about her. But at the end of the day, nobody feels like being around energy sucks like that all the time. Who is that? Hey, that's your desk? Hey. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. You got a new desk. You got a new desk. Gotta get you with your new desk. Get you with your new desk. Iyanla tells everybody that they need to stand in their value, which is something similar to what Tracy did when she decided to go to work when the other ladies decided not to. The only difference is that she didn't communicate. And that's when Tracy says, well, actually, I did. And before she can even get all of the words out of her mouth, Tamar is screaming, lies, lies. And she's like, that's not what we're going to do. Iyanla is like, that is not what we're about to do. And then Tracy says, I did say how I felt, okay? But if it's not coinciding with what the group wants, y'all don't hear me. But I said what I had to say. You're not about to keep disrespecting me. Disrespecting me, okay? And that's when Iyanla had to bring it down. And she said, you know what? Right now, Miss Tracy, you are also being disrespectful, okay? So let me give you another way. Tamar, I apologize for allowing you to think that you could talk to me in that way. From this day forward, I am revoking that right. You cannot speak to me in that way. There has to be boundaries. This family has to set boundaries, and they don't. Iyanla turns to Miss Evelyn and asks her, what do you think Tamar's pain is? Because only a person that acts in the way that she does, with behavior like she has, and when she said that, Tamar got upset. Who are you even talking to me like this? What do you mean my behavior? See, that's what I'm talking about with the calling of the names. My behavior. Saying that you have issues, saying that your behavior, okay, saying that you have a behavior, bitch, is not calling you a name. You're just attaching whatever emotion you're feeling on to whatever Iyanla is saying, whether it fits or not. It does not fit in this situation, all right? Obviously, Tamar is in pain and Iyanla goes from there. Obviously, she is somebody who is felt unheard, which is why she is always trying to be heard, trying to be seen. And of course, Tamar does not like that language. Before she exploded from it all, Michael jumped in and said that he feels as if Tamar was allowed to get away with a lot more than the other girls. The other girls were reprimanded, but for some reason, Tamar wasn't. Apparently, Michael, not only working a lot and not being around a lot as a part of Tamar's childhood, all her sisters left before her because they're all older than her. Even when Trina left, only being 2 years older than her, she felt left alone. She felt abandoned. And not just that, but the daddy felt guilty for the way the breakdown in his marriage affected his children. And because of that, he stayed away because he was too, scared or didn't really want to deal with their emotions, and he abandoned them. So that is really where a lot of Tamar's pain is coming from. This place of feeling abandoned, this place of not feeling seen, not feeling heard. And Tracy understands this because Tracy felt the same way when they went on and signed their contract without her. So she feels bad for not even seeing this in Tamar. Trina didn't want to really accept it at first because she feels as if she's only 2 years older than her. How could I have abandoned you? And this is one of the most valuable lessons I've learned from Iyanla. Just because somebody has a certain experience does not mean that there's any blame, there's any fault. There was nothing wrong with the way that Trina left the house and went to live her own life. There's nothing wrong with that. But it still had a negative effect on Tamar. That is her experience. And everybody has to understand that, including Tamar, who felt as if she could tell Iyanla that she detested her experience. You can't detest somebody's experience. Their experience is just that, their experience. That does not mean that your experience can't be different. That does not mean that that was your intent for their experience to happen the way that it did. But you cannot negate their experience because then you're telling them how they feel doesn't matter. And that is not anything that you want to put out there in the environment when you're trying to heal shit between family members, okay? Iyanla tells all of them that they allowed this abuse to take place, but Tamar is very much so abusive with the way that she acts and speaks. You cannot express a thought, you can't express a feeling, you can't express an emotion without her going the fuck off, screaming and hollering and talking about how she's been disrespected and how she's been singled out and her pain and how she's been disrespected. And then she looks at Iyanla and tells Iyanla that she's being a hypocrite because she's doing the same thing. She's cutting her off. She's being abusing. It's like, no, bitch. No, bitch, her energy is not the same at all. Iyanla even toned down the way she talks to Tamar because she wanted Tamar to be clear, but she's not, okay? Like I said, she's attaching her feelings regardless to what Iyanla is saying. She's attaching them to her words. So now she's trying to use everything Iyanla is saying as some type of defense mechanism against Iyanla. Oh, why? If I'm being abusive, then now you being abusive. You cutting me off. And Iyanla is just trying to make her understand and see herself and see how she is and how her family have allowed her to be this way, which is why she thinks it's okay. And at any time somebody says, hey, this is not okay, this is not right, she wants to fight so hard. She kept going back and forth with Iyanla, and Iyanla said, look, do you want to do this? And she says, do you want to do this? And that's when I saw Iyanla go, okay, she trying to get the hood up out you, but you know what? You've grown, okay? All right? You went through several levels of this. You got this, Iyanla. And that's when she turns to them and she says, so who is allowed to tell her to stop? Who's allowed to reprimand her when she does this? Just totally ignoring Tamar going off. And that's when Miss Evelyn says, hey, that is enough. That is not what we are going to do, okay? You may not agree with Miss Iyanla has to say, but you will respect her. And Tamar is making all these faces and, but what about what I'm being respected? One more word, and it's going to be me and you. One more word. Miss Evelyn shut it all the way the fuck down. She says, baby, I know you're hurt. I can see you're hurt. But give yourself a chance to learn another way. Please calm the fuck down. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Somebody told her, thank you. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, okay? But I just want to go ahead and say that I still see what I saw before. That Tamar is screaming and hollering because she's the little evil woman inside of Evelyn. Okay? Evelyn knows how to hold herself and she knows how to keep her evil real wrapped tight up in betwixt her soul, all up betwixt her breasts, okay? She knows how to keep that anger. She uses passive aggressive tactics to do what she wants to do. Like instead of fighting or beating the shit out of Michael the way she may have wanted to, she sought to turn those daughters against him. And I don't think she intentionally did it, but if she felt some type of way, she was not going to not tell her daughters how she felt about their daddy, which forced them to then take her side as their mother, as the nurturer of them. You know, the daddy was already working so much, he was already removed from the household. He didn't have a fucking chance. He didn't have a chance. Well, after Evelyn checked Tamar, she couldn't take it no more and she walked out. So Iyanla said, all right, y'all, let's take a break. And Tamar goes to sit in a car, and Iyanla goes outside like, what is going on out here, Tamar? Are you coming back? Is this a break or are you leaving, bitch? Let me know. And she's like, I'm just taking a break, Miss Iyanla. I need a moment. She's like, okay, Tamar, I didn't know. Now that I know, I will go away. So now she goes back into the house, and we have separate sit-downs with Trina and Tawanda, and then Tracy by herself, and we discussed this whole situation with the contract. I think it is very plain to see that Tracy did say that she was going to tape, but she said it at the last moment, and it did not jive with the conversation she previously had with her sisters. But at the end of the day, Iyanla let Trina know that she fucked up. When she gonna tell her, I'm not mad at your decision, but I wish you would have told me. Why is it that Tamar can go and do a show with Vince, Tony can go off and do movies, and Tracy can't? Tracy has to live by a different set of rules. Tracy has to run past y'all and get y'all approval on what she gonna do in her life, okay? And that's unfair. Trina said touche to Miss Iyanla when she pointed that out to her. And Tracy was very happy to have somebody to hear her and understand her point of view. And she was able, Miss Iyanla was able to reiterate that to Tawanda and Trina in a way for them to understand that they really hold Trina to a different, they really hold Tracy to a different regard than they do Tony and Tamar. And it's really fucking annoying and tiring. It's time for them to redefine their relationships and how they love each other if they want to keep doing this show. But I think the show is over. Next, Iyanla talks to Mama and Daddy separately because she really wants them to understand that the breakdown in their marriage is an exact reflection of the breakdown amongst the sisters, and that the issues between the two of them have caused the sisters to be upset. And Evelyn clocked it. And I wonder if Evelyn always knew, or if in this process she learned something or saw something that she didn't realize before. But she says that they go after each other about every little thing because they can never come after us about what they want to say to us. And really what they want to say is that they pissed off at their parents for putting them in between their divorce, for forcing them to pick sides, for creating all of this trauma and fucking mess where it didn't have to be. And Iyanla really wanted them to go to their children and apologize for fucking them up, so to speak. She couldn't say it, but I could. That's what she wanted to say. Evelyn says that she and Michael were together when she was 17 and he was 18 years old. He was her best friend and her first love. But the way she looks at it now is that her husband is dead and she don't know that man sitting next to her. And she says that she doesn't love him anymore because she don't know him. He says that he still has love for her as the woman who bore his children, you know, and he would like to have a better relationship with her. And it's just obvious to me that they need to handle that. And if they don't handle that, then their children are going to forever not really be dealing with their issues because they can't really be honest with their parents. And It's just sad, y'all. They really should resolve that. I feel like them girls are not going to really be able to resolve all of their issues until they're given permission to. And they're still really kind of waiting on that permission to really love their daddy the way they want to let go of all of this pain and anger that they've had towards him since he left and was with that other woman. But I can imagine that Michael has done some things to chip away at Evelyn over the years. Not only were you cheating on her, you weren't around a lot, then you leave her to raise all of them children. I mean, not leave her to raise, but when he was working so much, I imagine that a lot of it was on her. So not only did you not pull all of your weight with our children, but then you leave me for another woman. You go marry that woman and want to be with her forever and decide not to come to vital moments in our children's lives because of that woman. After I've been with you since we were 17 years old, before any other woman, we had these children together, our first children together. How dare you not love me enough to not show up for our children, regardless of the fact that you in a relationship with some woman who you cheated on me with in the first damn place. I feel like all of that shit that happened even after their divorce is the reason why Evelyn is still very much upset and hurt behind what happened between her and Michael. And the way she said that he was her best friend made me feel like she is still very much hurt. She's not over it, and that's why she hasn't been able to move on with her life. It don't matter how long they've been apart. She still is holding on tight to whatever that pain is, and she will not allow herself to release it. And I'm wondering if the Lord is keeping their old asses alive so that they can, deal with this before they go. I'm just saying, everybody can sit up here acting like they ain't 70-something years old. That's two people that's 70-something years old that's still alive, okay? And I'm just saying, a lot of the time the daddy died or the mom, just always by the time they get to this age range, somebody has passed already. Them girls don't know how blessed they are to still have both of their parents. And if they still walking around with any resentment towards their daddy, they need to get the fuck over it, because you don't know how many more years you're going to have with that man. 10, 15, 20 at the most, if that. You know what I'm saying? If that. So it's just, to me, it's just a very scary thing to know that your parents are up in age and there's still so much emotional shit that needs to be fixed, and you don't know if it's ever going to be fixed. Evelyn says that she didn't realize that she was using her daughters against her ex-husband. And I kind of feel like, I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I feel like in a way you knew what you was doing, and it was a way for you to get back at him without really having to do anything. So you was able to save face and still keep your pristine, your pristine look that you have about yourself, mother of the church and all of that shit. Toni talks about her being signed and how it was a bad thing. Something that was so great in her life was made into this terrible thing because her sisters weren't signed with her. Her parents were upset with her because they were looking at it as something that was breaking up her family. And because of that, Toni has forever felt weighed down by them. She's felt weighed down by the rest of her family. And she feels as if she would have done way more in her life and soared way further if she wasn't weighed down by all of their expectations of her. And y'all, that's what I was talking about. It's not always shit that we put on ourselves. It's the shit that we grow into, and that eventually it becomes something that we're continuing to let happen. And Toni needs to realize that she got to give herself permission to be happy. Give yourself permission to do the things that you want to do. Go sing in orchestra, girl. Go do your thing. You don't always need to have your singers in back, your sisters as backup singers and shit. Go live your life. All right, y'all are too old. Like Miss Iyanla said, y'all are some big-footed women. I wonder if she meant big-pussied women. Me and Lyric were arguing about that. That's what I think she really wanted to say. Meaning your vaginas have had babies. So they all meet up back at this white table, and Iyanla wants them to get clear about what the problem is, and she wants them all to confess. And she says that everything ain't gonna be fixed today, but she's planting seeds today, and we're gonna sow and see what happens with those seeds. But first, the daddy confesses, and he confesses that he abandoned them totally, and a breakdown between he and their mom caused an imbalance in the relationships of the sisters. Wanza confesses that she isn't honest about her true feelings, and she feels judged when she makes decisions that her family doesn't agree with. We can all say that they all do that to one another, except for maybe Toni, because Toni don't give a fuck and don't really give y'all no room to feel no type of way about her decisions. And I also feel like people are too scared that Toni gonna just leave and not talk to them for a minute, so nobody really wants to say what they don't agree with as far as Toni is concerned. Trina confesses that she always felt judged, but she really was the one judging her family, and she feels caught in between her parents' divorce. And y'all, I thought that was a very real statement, because Trina, you know how she does that accent that's different from everybody in her fucking family, and it's kind of more of a, a valley girl, and I hate to say it, but because obviously there are more black people that have, those types of accents where they have no no difference in dialect whatsoever. Everything is, ER and, just very enunciated, like, I'm not going to say it's Caucasian. I'm not going to say it because that's not what it is, but in the hood it's called white. Okay, I don't want to say that's what it is because that's not really what it is. It's just the way certain people speak. And she always spoke so much differently from her family, but the way that she spoke, we would all be like, why the fuck is she talking like that? Why is she pronouncing words the way she's pronouncing them? And I always felt like that was a way for her to draw a distinction between her and her family, and the reason why she, never really wanted to date out, with men inside her race, and she always dated outside of her race. It just always seemed like she didn't really like being black, or maybe what that was as it pertained to her family of being black. I'm not saying that Trina, doesn't love being black, but I'm just saying it always seemed like something she was trying to separate herself from. And I'm thinking that maybe it was just in its way a representation of her family, because when she said that she was judging them, that's how I was like, yes, that's how it felt. That's how it felt when she would be, kind of, I don't really date black men, or, speaking in that way that she speaks now, that we don't understand how the fuck your accent different from everybody else that grew up in your house. Okay, you know what I mean? It just always seemed like her trying to separate herself from other black folks, her family, in what seemed like a real judgy way. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, yeah. And also, feeling regressed and feeling like she's still sometimes the same age she was when her parents divorced, and being caught in between that. And Evelyn confesses that she was wrong to put them in the middle of the divorce, and that she's too involved in their lives. And I'm like, especially that damn Tamar. Tony confesses, although she loves them, she doesn't like them. And when she said everyone, I mean everybody. That means she don't like none of you motherfuckers. From the mama to Tamar, she don't like none of y'all. And I can understand that. The mama and the daddy are the root of the issues. And I feel like Tawanda can be passive aggressive. Tamar is fucking obnoxious and annoying, and nobody feels like that energy suck all the time. Trina is always doing some outlandish, crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? Like all throughout their lives, like just always trying to be the different one. And I think Tracy is also somebody that will get in her feelings in a way that if she feels some type of way, which she can be very sensitive and take things a certain type of way. Not to say that she's not, that she's not validated in how she feels, but I think that from Tony's perspective, everybody seems like energy sucks. The only person that I felt like was probably really hurt was Tawanda. And I was like, yeah, I feel like that, because out of everybody, I feel like Tawanda is somebody that was more so a friend and, just a confidant of Tony than somebody she would perceive as somebody she don't really want to be around if they wasn't her sister. But Trina thinks that she was just saying that because she's upset with the state of their relationship as it is. And I'm like, I don't know. But Tony seemed very matter of fact about the fact that she resents y'all, and she been resenting y'all asses. Okay, it just seemed that way to me. All right. Then Tracy confesses that she feels hurt by her family, and she can be selfish, and she can be inconsiderate of their emotions. Tamar says that she thought about everything when she was in a car, and she says that she's been spoiled, obnoxious, emotional, unkind, unfair, disrespectful, and she came into the situation trying to be right and trying to prove that she was right, but that's not necessarily her goal anymore. She says her goal now is to become a better person. She apologizes to Tawanda for blaming her for how other people treat her. She apologizes to Tracy for not showing her compassion when she really needed it. And she apologizes to Trina for not sticking by her side when she needed it, especially the way Trina is always there for her. She apologizes to Tony. She apologizes to the daddy. She apologizes to mommy. She says that she needs help. And Iyanla says, good for you, because the help is here for you, baby. Okay? Now, look, let me unpack this right quick. Because from what we understand, Tamar walked off and then got online and talked about how evil Iyanla was. Was that before or after she came back in and had this come to Jesus moment? Also, why was she so hard? But I never really saw any tears falling down her face. Anybody want to tell me? Or did they just, cut back to her after she wiped it with a napkin? Editing, is that what y'all are doing? Because that's stupid. I want to see the shit dripping down, okay? And I didn't see any tears. I do feel like she was giving accurate reads about how she has treated her family members, but it still felt in some way like she was putting on a show for everybody. And I don't know if that's just the way she is, or in this moment, if she's just doing the most just cause of the cameras rolling. Like everybody else just starts off with I confess, and she was like, I sat in the car and I thought about everything and I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so fucking dramatic. And I don't know if I necessarily believe that she was being 100% authentic in that moment. And then to see how things went after, and her going on Wendy Williams and still talking shit about Iyanla, I am so lost about the experience that she reported on versus the experience that we're actually watching on WeTV. And I honestly believe that this show was probably edited after Wendy Williams happened. So I'm wondering, if it was something that happened that they didn't put in the show, or if it never really went down that way and she just being fucking crazy. I don't know. But that was Braxton Family Values, alongside Iyanla Fix My Life. I thought that it was, whether they understood what was going on or not, whether they accepted what was said or not, I think Iyanla was spot on with everything she said as it pertains to their relationships and why they're not working out anymore. And I was here for it. I thought it was a good episode. I was thoroughly entertained. I hope y'all enjoyed this breakdown, review, recap, whatever you want to call it, of Braxton Family Values, Iyanla Fix My Life. And I'll see y'all in the next one.